what is going on YouTube? Lamont here, just walking around doing some sightseeing at this cemetery here. Not really doing much of anything. And oftentimes when I go to a cemetery, half the time it's for a particular grave. The other half I'm just looking around for interesting graves, or maybe I'm just looking for a cemetery to do a faces in depth. And then sometimes I just kind of walk around and then I'll have things on my mind, and then I'll have things that I want to talk about. That's why I kind of started doing it on this channel. So you think gas prices are expensive, huh? Right now I just filled up. I paid $4.98 a gallon. Basically it's $5. And my job is predicated on me being able to go around the country. And so when the gas goes up, oh well, you know, I'm getting about 13.5 miles to the gallon on my van and my trailer. Not the best miles per gallon, but considering I don't pay rent, nor do I have a mortgage, nor do I have children, nor do I have any responsibilities, nor do I have a life, I guess it all evens out at the end of the day. But I know a lot of you guys out there that watch me live within your means, live within a budget. You got kids, you got a job, you got to take your kids to this practice, that practice. Maybe you work about 35 miles away from your job, and depending on the kind of car you drive, that could add up. You know, when you double your cost of anything, it's going to affect your pocketbook. It's going to make some kind of dent, some kind of damage, right? So right now in the United States, gas, I guess the average is $5, or maybe a little bit north, maybe a little bit south of that. And in California, I believe the average is about $6.50. Now, if you think that gas right now is high, well, you ain't seen nothing yet, because in Hong Kong right now, gas costs $11.35 a gallon. Now, Hong Kong is a very small country, and I'm sure people over there aren't really buying big gas guzzling trucks, vans, SUVs, so forth and so on. I'm sure a lot of people drive smaller 4-cylinder and maybe even 3-cylinder cars. Maybe a lot of people have scooters or whatever. So right now, I believe in the world, that's the highest cost of gas is over there. Now, what about the other countries? You know, sometimes when I'm doing a live stream and when I'm ranting about the cost of gas, people say, $5 would be a relief. Because in Norway, gas is about a little over $10 a gallon. But again, small country. And they're just driving around with small, tiny little 4-cylinder, 3-cylinder cars. And of course, Denmark is the same. Finland, they're all $10. Greece, $9.50. In France and in the United Kingdom, gas is a little over $8 a gallon. Okay, but you know, these countries, they're not too big. You know, they're not really the type of countries where you just drive these vast distances like how we do in the United States. Gas in Australia is roughly around the same price as it is here, and I believe Canada, I think it's a little bit more expensive. I think gas would be the equivalent of around $6 or so. But my opinion about the gas situation is this. Now, we can bitch, moan, groan, complain to whoever the president is and blame him or blame her or blame whatever senators or anybody. Anybody could be to blame, right? It feels good to blame others, right? But, you know, we got to remember, nobody forced us to buy these big, stupid SUVs, right? No one forced us to buy these big, dumb Ford Expeditions, these V8 Mustangs, you know, all these gas guzzling cars. There's plenty of Priuses for sale. You could actually get a Prius right now all day long for $5,000. I mean, it'll be high mileage, and, you know, it might be around the time where you have to change that battery out, but you can get a Prius for $5,000. Heck, in most parts of the country, you can get a good running vehicle. Again, it's going to be high mileage, but what do you want for $1,500? It might have some rust, whatever, might not. The point is, you could go buy a small 4-cylinder car that gets 30 miles to the gallon, and it ain't going to hurt you as much, right? Me personally, I don't think that Americans are going to change what they buy, as the church bells are playing in the back. I don't believe Americans are going to change their driving habits anytime soon. I don't believe Americans are going to stop buying trucks. I don't believe Americans are going to stop buying gas guzzling SUVs. I don't believe Americans are flocking to join the electric car revolution. A lot of your politicians, some of them that you even voted for, will tell you simply, hey, if gas is so expensive, well, why don't you just go buy a Tesla, right? Because of course you have $5,000 or $10,000 for a down payment, and you could afford the $500 a month car payment, and of course you are able to charge your car overnight, because you live in a house, obviously, right? There's no such thing as apartments. What's an apartment? And you can go to one of those electric charging stations, right? Because you have time. You could sit for 30 minutes and wait for your car to charge really, really fast, right? You could do that. Screw your 1992 Ford Escort. By the way, does anybody still drive an Escort? Just wondering. It's a cool little car. Screw your little Escort. Talk about the car. Just go buy a Tesla, you dope. You don't have $5,000? Maybe that's your problem. Maybe that's your fault. Now, there's other electric cars out there that are not nearly that expensive as a Tesla. There's, the Nissan Leaf. I believe that you could probably pick one of those up used for like $10,000. There's even electric cars that are cheaper than that. But me believing in what I say, I believe that Americans are not, they're not going to change the way they drive until gas gets to around $8 a gallon. $8 a gallon. When they get to $8 a gallon on average, so now we have $8 a gallon nationwide, so that means in California, the gas would be $10 and over a gallon. That's when you're going to see Americans saying, okay, you know what? I like the idea of driving a big vehicle because it's safer, so they think. Because it's heavier and I can see better because I can see over everybody. Well, yeah, everybody can see over you too because everyone's driving the same kind of vehicle pretty much, right? But when it gets to $8 a gallon and you have an 18-gallon tank, right? And it's costing you $150 to fill up your tank for 3 days, right? So you're paying $1,200 a month in gas, right? That's when you're going to see Americans really change their driving habits, right? No longer are these big gas guzzling SUVs going to be a thing that we can buy just because we're Americans. It's going to be, I guess, a tool for the rich who can afford that kind of gas bill, because there's a lot of Americans that cannot afford to pay $800, $1,000, $1,200 a month for gas. And a lot of these Americans also cannot afford a car payment for a new Tesla, because guess what? When you buy a Tesla, your favorite local politician or your favorite whoever, your favorite president, that tells you, oh, just go buy a Tesla. If it's too, well, you know what? First of all, I mean, if you have $60,000, yeah, go ahead and buy a Tesla. If not, you got the $5,000, your credit's good. Oh, your credit's bad, we're going to need a little bit more from you. Or maybe you can't buy a Tesla at all. It's not our fault that your credit stinks. But let's say you got good credit, right? Let's say you got $5,000, you get the Tesla, your monthly, depending on your, how you do the financing, your money, your monthly payment's going to be what? A little under $500 or a little bit over $500. But there's this really nasty thing called insurance, right? And I don't know if Tesla offers any kind of warranty on their cars, because as I know right now, I really don't know, because I didn't look this up before the recording of this video. Kind of when I do these videos, I go off the top of my head and I just kind of spout whatever I feel like, spouting about, not talking about whatever. I'm not really sure if Tesla is considered a reliable vehicle. I don't know. I've never looked up online to see if anybody is having issues or problems with their Teslas constantly breaking down. Maybe I should go look that up after I leave the cemetery. But if you can't afford an electric vehicle, then you're just going to have to stay with your gas guzzling SUV. So instead of you buying that huge 2023 Ford Explorer, you're probably going to look at the Mitsubishi Mirage. It's a little 3-cylinder, little 5-speed car, gets probably 40 miles to the gallon, and those cars are pretty cheap. You probably start looking at those little Chevy, what do you call it? Aveo. I don't think they make the Aveo anymore, but you know, a car of that, you know, comparable to, or the Chevy Sonic, or the Chevy Spark. Those little subcompact vehicles, right? Because I don't think Americans really, you don't really need an SUV. Yeah, sure, it's great to punch the gas and be able to fly past somebody at 100 miles an hour and flip them off because they just weren't going fast enough for you. But I think all the you know, the gas prices and everything going crazy, you know, I really, when I see it, I just think it's much to do about nothing. You know, until that gas gets to $8 a gallon, I think people are just gonna suck it up and pay for it. You're gonna suck it up, Buttercup, okay? Because a lot of people out there that you drive little Honda Civics, your gas tank is 13 gallons. All right, 13 gallons times 5. What is that? 70 bucks, 65, 70 bucks. You know, maybe you don't go out as much. Maybe you just don't take a Sunday drive going 80 miles, 2 counties over to go visit your grandmother. That's just the way it is. I think that's what a lot of Americans are going to have to come to grips with when that time comes where gas is $8 a gallon. Now, in an economy, I know she's saying right now, this guy's talking about the economy. You live in a van. I know. I live in a van. I guess with the economy, whether it tanks or we're in a recession already, or if it goes into a recession, I guess the market then will correct itself when it comes to the price of homes, because right now everything is inflated. I mean, the price of vehicles, certain vehicles anyways, are overly inflated. I've been looking at vans for the last year, and I just refuse to pay these ridiculous prices that some people are asking for their buckets, you know what I mean? So I guess we're going to see coming towards the end of this year, going into 2023. By then I'll be turning 44. Wow, 44. Where has the time gone? Where has the time gone by? We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. See what happens. Anyways, guys, leave a comment below if you're still listening, if you're still watching. Tell me what you think about what I said, and also I want to know. Tell me what you think about me like doing these videos. I mean, do you prefer me walk into a cemetery? Do you prefer me walk at a store? I don't know. Sometimes if I want to start talking about something and I happen to be at a particular place, I'll just do it there. I don't want to do videos in my van just kind of squawking and talking and whatever. But anyways, yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. And with that being said, I'm out of here. It's hot, humid. I have to go shower at my local gym. Guys, I will catch up with you later. Have a good one. Oh, by the way, last thing before I leave. What's a topic you want me to talk about, or you're interested in my opinions on? If I'm interested, and I'll talk about it, let me know. Or you can always text me, 972-765-8972. I do answer my text usually. You know, unless you're like vague and you're like, hey man, I got a really good story for you, and then I'm not gonna answer back to that. But anyways, let me know. Catch up with you later. Have a good one. Peace.